Mr. Dynamite, thank you very much for starting the stream off with a beautiful Tier 1 gift sub. And Exegete, welcome to the data community here on Twitch. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to yet another beautiful Monday evening Twitch stream. I hope you're all doing well, or maybe it's afternoon for you, or morning. Doesn't matter what time zone you're in. That's the beauty of the internet. And look at this! Dr. Dynamite, thank you so much for subscribing for 2 months. 2 months. That's quite a streak. I think Dr. Dynamite deserves a shout out. Yes, all the frames have been eaten by the emote explosion. You will notice that I have made a slight change. If you've been in previous streams, I have actually changed to 900p output. So it actually should be showing now in Twitch that the stream is set up for 900p. Let's just take a look at my own channel here, make sure that I'm muted. Don't want to do some weird stuff. Look at that, 900p source. So all the people who were saying they could not watch my streams because it was at 1440p before, big fat internet pipes that we have here in Switzerland, they can now all become constant viewers. So I expect my viewer count to absolutely explode. There are no excuses anymore. There are no excuses. So if it's your first stream here, welcome. If it's not your first stream on my channel, welcome back. I stream data analytics stuff on Twitch. I've been in the data analytics community doing data analytics stuff for, I don't know, 10 years or so. I know almost nothing. I don't want to be one of those peeps, but frames did look a little stuttery even on my SO. That was before 900p. Now it should be buttery smooth, although I can bump it to 60 probably now in terms of output, because I can see that my CPU and stuff is quite healthy. So oh, now okay, yeah, with the emo explosion that was pretty intense. The shout out, I'm not sure if that's maybe a thing because of the HTML from Stream Elements, but I can give it a few testing later. Definitely. It's not something you should probably adjust pre-stream, but you know, I as Duke Nukem would say, I've got balls of steel. I adjust stuff before stream and it doesn't really matter. So, what are we doing today? It's a very good question. If you're tuning in for the first time, then you might know that I jump around topics a lot. I sunk my teeth into something recently, which was digitizing all of my receipts, or rather, digesting the data from all of my receipts from going to the supermarket. So 800 plus PDFs. Sunk my teeth into that for like 5 streams, but I get kind of burnt out quickly with larger projects, which I guess is a phenomenon that a lot of people have. But I was approached yet again by another ETL, ELT software company named DataCoral. And they asked me, do you think you would want to stream about our software? And I said, I don't know. It depends. Is your software cool? Is it any good? And they said, of course, it's amazing because it supports something really unique and interesting. And I said, aha, I would like to know more about that. And so that is how today we ended up streaming about this solution, DataCoral. So you may be asking, what is DataCoral exactly? So I'm no marketing person. There may or may not be representatives of DataCoral already here, so I will not attempt to explain in detail what DataCoral is or is not. What I can tell you are the basics. DataCoral is a ELT or ETL, depending how you want to look at it, service that can run both on-premise and in the cloud. Toefrog has contributed 2,000 total to the Facecam challenge. This is very interesting, Toefrog. Were you saving up your channel points because of earlier? So we have hit 81% on Facecam with 14 days to go. I definitely should have made that one a bit more of a challenge. It's significant, but I really probably should have bumped up the price, considering how many people are subscribed of you all earning double X points and stuff, or 1 point something X. Toefrog, this will happen, you cannot hide from us. You'll notice how I've worded the challenge, which is, we'll turn on my camera in the next stream after we hit this goal. I didn't say whether I would leave it on or not. So we'll have to see if I leave it on or not. But Toefrog, welcome to the stream. Persican, welcome to the stream. Or Persican, welcome back. Sociable Steve coming in here as well with a little lurk. We will find you. I really hope not. I've done my best to remain anonymous here on Twitch. So far I'm not doing very well by using my real name and stuff, actually. It occurs to me now that I haven't done a great job of not being findable. We have a special set of skills. Look at all these bar charts. I love it. It's so satisfying to see bar charts in chat, really. Mapping IP address, tracking ISP. Enhance! Enhance! I should definitely have an enhanced sound effect. I'm gonna write this one down. I want to have an enhanced sound effect for what in chat someone can just use channel points to yell enhance, like CSI Miami, or just the theme, the glasses, where what's his name, Horatio, satellite imagery acquired. That's pretty easy. You just go to Google Maps and look up Zurich. Don't tempt the claw. Yeah, I should know better. If you're not aware what the claw is, it is our beautiful Discord community, which fortunately I've been accepted to, even though I'm actually not a dev. There's mostly developers in there, but there's all sorts of types in there, and it's pretty interesting. The Twitch community on science technology is very small, and so we get together and band together and support each other, and that's why the Claw community is so great. So I can highly recommend that if you're not in the Discord already, that you join the Discord. You write code, it's DB code, but still code. Interesting. Interesting though. I don't know I mean, SQL is technically a programming language, but I don't know if I classify as a dev then. The claw will scratch till we get what we want. Yeah, probably need to also upload the Toy Story clip of all those little alien guys yelling, "The claw!" Well, anyway, back to today's topic. We can't waste too much time. We're being paid for this after all, everyone. I mean, we have work to do here. You still classify as a dev. I do a ton of SQL at work. It's easily a full-time job. Yeah, I would hate to do SQL full-time though. Just get you to do sound effects. Oh dear. I hope I've turned off clipping on my channel, because these are the times that I would regret if it's on. So DataCoral. DataCoral is interesting. We've looked at an ETL, ELT tool a few weeks back. Panoply was also a sponsored stream. Are you detecting a pattern? I hope not. 2 is not a pattern. It's just a pair. So, which is also a grapefruit. Not gonna lie, I really like pears. DataCoral is interesting because they support something that I was not fully aware of that was that important prior to learning about it. And it is something called CDC. And most of you, like myself, probably don't know what CDC is. I thought you said you like a pear as it's a grapefruit. Data and bots, looking forward to this session. All right, I am as well. Welcome to the channel. So CDC is very interesting. It's not the Center for Disease Control, as I first found out by Googling CDC. No, CDC is something very, very interesting. So there is a concept here. I found it before. I think we can just search CDC. All right. So this is based on MySQL, but it's essentially the same thing with Postgres. Change data capture is what CDC stands for. And change data capture is something that kind of blew my mind because I've run into this problem in the past, and I'm sure everyone here has had this problem at least once who works with data, that is. Or even, I don't know, developers might have also had this issue, to be honest. Oh no. I do hope you turned clips off your channel. Oh no! I think that's the first clip. Thank you, Steve. Most appreciated. That's gonna go straight in the bin. No, I'll keep it. It's okay. I'll keep it. I stand by what I say on stream. I stand by it. So CDC. What does CDC do? Essentially, when you make changes to your table, the database itself logs those changes and it stores them in a separate place. And what the CDC connector does is it captures those changes and puts them into another data warehouse, for example, or another table, so that you can reliably capture all of the changes that happened in tables. And this is really interesting because if we consider how a table of data normally looks, let's look at an example here. Doing my clever window resizing stuff today. Oh, I hope I aligned the bottom with, no, it's too short. 1 second. The bottom status bar, I don't want it to clip off the beautiful progress bar in data grip. So essentially we have to look at how a table actually looks to understand this problem a little bit better, and that's what I had to do anyway. So let's look at we actually have a Postgres database set up, but I'll just use my own for the moment. The principle is the same in MySQL and Postgres. It's the same. Doesn't make a difference. Let's look at the Pokemon table, because that's fun. So this is a table of all the Pokemon. There's 1,041 Pokemon in all the different variations. There was a stream like, how long was it ago that we did Pokemon? It's somewhere on YouTube. You can find it on YouTube. All the previous streams are there. So all the Pokemon are in here. Now, if I were to delete, this is like a fact table, right? There's no time series data or whatever. It's just facts. There isn't like a field here of like when it was updated or when the record was created or any of that. There were 150 I will die on this hill. Only the originals count. Toe, I agree with you. Ian, I have to say that your timing with this track is pretty epic in terms of an entrance, I have to say. And Dino, I see what you meant about the frames now. That's pretty interesting. I'm gonna have to see why that is. I heard the sounds of a wild Ian Alex Hart. A wild Ian appeared. He used fart. It's super effective.
Disappointed!
Oh, Dino. Make sure your browser source is set to use 30 FPS. It is. I believe it's because I changed the output down from... The original output is not 900p. Like, the canvas is not 900p. But I will definitely sort this out post-stream. I don't think it matters so much for today. We're just looking at text anyway, which is like, doesn't need to be that smooth. Like, this is pretty jerky on stream and it's not going to make a huge difference, I think. But if it gets unwatchable, of course, we will do something about it. But yeah, as I was saying, there's no like columns here with like updated at or something like that. So if I drop something in here, I mean, not an entire column, for example, but if I were to delete something in here, we would have no record that that happened. And that's a problem. That's a real problem, not only for production applications, obviously, in the like development context for apps. It's a million times better than my... Yeah, I'm not going to pronounce that. Streams, so it's all good. I appreciate it. And I am streaming from a laptop. So we have to always consider that. But yeah, it's my CPU is hovering around 2.3%, 2.4. Oh, I thought PAS was an abbreviation. And you meant POS. As in piece of beep streams. But your streams are definitely not like that. I love your streams, Dino. You know I do. So yeah, it would be bad if we lost a row of data. I mean, there's probably some reason that it would get deleted, but it would be terrible if we didn't know that we lost that row of data. That's the main thing. And so what CDC does is it uses those inherent logs that are present on the database to be able to know, something changed. So I didn't do my work. I should have removed all the connections and stuff that I have in DataCoral, but we will do that in a moment. I just wanted to show you the web page so that you understand what it does and just like summarize a little bit about what the solution is. So it is very interesting because this CDC feature is really unique. And I don't know how many other tools actually support this. A lot of the ETL or ELT tools that I've worked with use a different method to try and capture all of the changes in the database. The way that we were normally doing that in the past is I can show you. So if we have something like this table here, I think there's so there's a timestamp. This is my Netflix data. It's also in a past stream. I love how you get distracted by all the comments. Makes the stream much funnier. Hope you don't get distracted by this comment. Okay, you've already won. At this point, data and bots, you've already succeeded because I looked at the comment now. But where you have a timestamp, you can kind of try to do this without having CDC support. So CDC needs to be set up on the database, which I won't go into because it's super detailed data architecture stuff, data engineering stuff, which I know nothing about. But it needs to be set up on the database, and then you need to use a CDC enabled connection to actually capture those changes, which not all tools support. I don't know which ones actually do support it outside DataCoral. I'm sure someone would be able to answer that question from their team if you asked. But the way that you can kind of get close to it is you can say, oh, okay, well, I have a timestamp here, playback start. Now, if my pipeline runs every 30 minutes, Okay, let's imagine you have a pipeline run at 2018, 1209, 2330, right? And the last time it was run was 2300. So what it'll do is it'll see, I have these rows here that I haven't captured since last time, right? These are the ones that I find. These are the ones I'm going to capture now. And you append them into a new table or something in your data warehouse. Great. Then your pipeline runs the next 30-minute slot would be at 00. It wouldn't find any new records because this one here is only at 14 past midnight. So it wouldn't find any new records, so it wouldn't do anything. And then it runs again and again 12:30, and it only finds one new record. The problem with this is if between two runs something changes in the database, and so for example a field gets added or a row gets added but it gets mutated in some way, so the values change, you won't capture those changes. You will only capture the state during those pulls, those regular frequency pulls. And that's where it's very interesting. This is very strange. Oh yeah, that's the title of the episode. Basically, you won't capture all of those changes. So that's why CDC is so powerful, because it uses the inherent ability of the logs to be able to know what changed. Now, this is not only interesting in a developer context. Obviously, developers use change logs for a lot of different reasons, but especially for analysts. It is so important for us to understand state changes. What do I mean by state changes? So for example, we can look at another data table. For example, that's too weird. What else have we got? That one wasn't so good. Maybe in here. Yeah. Jay Walter, thank you for the contribution to Facecam. I mean, I don't know if I should be thanking you, but welcome back to chat. So listen, look here. We have, this is the supermarket data I was talking about earlier. So we have, for example, this purchase here. This purchase had 3 articles in it. Now imagine for some reason that I had to mutate one of these prices for some reason. So I had to say, oh, actually, this price is not correct. Like 215, it actually should have been, I don't know, 225 or something. Now, the problem is there won't be any record anywhere that I did that. If I'm just pulling in some frequency, like every 25 minutes or something, if I change it back again in that time. So I change the price, and then I realize, oh, okay, no, actually that's not correct. The customer didn't pay that, I don't know. And I change it back again. You'll never have a record of that audit. And that state change might not be so important for something like a price of a product that's already been purchased, but it might be important for analytical data. So if I'm capturing, for example, behavioral data about certain events that happen, where I'm accumulating, for example, scroll time, or I'm just doing something with some front-end kind of data, then it can be absolutely detrimental to the entire calculations if stuff changes and we don't know that it's changed. So that's why the CDC solution is really interesting. So we are going to, well, we're not going to take a quick break. We're just going to do something. I don't mind showing you. I'm just going to delete some stuff that I already did. I've already signed up to DataCoral. I'll have you know the sign up process was cool, was no problem. It's very straightforward. I will delete my connector configurations that I've already done because I don't want to, I want to start from scratch in a way. In terms of what we're setting up today, I'm going to explain that in a second. But basically, I just want to remove the stuff that I've already done because I don't think we should keep it, basically. And what I've noticed is that sometimes, for some reason, my instance is not very fast. I'm just telling you that I don't think the product is slow. I just think for some reason I've done something that makes it a little bit slow. But when we were doing the initial setup around a week ago, everything was blindingly fast. So I may have played around too much. In which case, of course, we will burn everything and start from scratch, because that's definitely a possibility. But yeah, it's like checking. I think it checks that nothing is dependent in transformations and stuff. And I believe there's a transformation somewhere. So I need to double check this. In the meantime, everybody can tell me if this is their first stream they're watching. I think I saw a few people in chat that are here for the first time. And if it's not your first stream, or not like ever, but like on my channel, tell me how your day was. If it's evening for you, it might not be evening for you, it might be the start of your day, I don't know. So I did something. This is why this is not working. I think I will refresh. Oh yeah, okay, that's why. Because I wasn't logged in properly. Yeah, so that was the issue. Okay. So let's get rid of this. And I see this is blindingly fast now. Blah blah. So this gets deleted. And we're gonna delete this one too. Slowly chipping away at those points. I mean, y'all aren't far off. 83%. We still got 14 days to go. There'll be a few streams in there. Ah, I know what I could do. I could just not stream for the next 14 days. And then you won't have a chance to spend the points. Or can you spend channel points when I'm not live? I actually don't know. That would be kind of nuts. Oh, you can. Oh no. Oh dear. So I have this CDC thing that I set up, which I will definitely have to get out. 4 transformations. Where there's a will, there is a way. You're right about that. I don't know if I can actually still delete this one. Oh yeah, I can. Okay. This here. Delete this transformation. So I'm deleting everything so that I can restart the process to show you how it captures this stuff. And we get to work with a new tool today, Snowflake! I'll show you in a moment. I'm quite excited about Snowflake because I have not had a chance to really use Snowflake yet. Because none of my employers have had Snowflake. So I was quite excited to be given a Snowflake instance to try out. And this music is quite aggressive, so let me know if you want me to change it. But I will leave it for the moment, unless someone says something. Confirm deletion. Okay. So this looks... So this is this slot table thing. Interval 30 minutes. Yeah, this is why I wanted to adjust this. Okay. So I think user-defined functions should be... Oh, there's a couple in there actually. Interesting. I didn't actually create those. Maybe they're created for you? Oh, some Athena stuff. Okay. Interesting. No more SQL transformations. Okay. The ingest connectors are being deleted. That's fine. Now I can explain what I wanted to do. Who wants to know? We can also just stream in complete silence. That's also possible. So what is the plan? The plan is the following. We have a Postgres database with 4 tables in it. 3 of them are kind of related to each other and 1 is not. So this one is the supermarket data. I've imported it into this other Postgres database. The reason I can't use my own Postgres instance is because it's only running locally in my Docker instance, and I can't get that. I mean, I probably could somehow, but it's not exposed to the public. So you see here this Postgres geographical information system, what we looked at last stream. That's my database. So I'm actually going to stop it because I don't think we need it anymore for the moment. And it just hogs RAM and stuff. So, oh yeah, so it's done one and now it's doing the other one. So my Docker instance isn't open to the world, which means we're using a different Postgres database, which DataCoral has kindly set up for me. Thank you very much. And I've connected to it using my lovely JetBrains IDE data grip, which I use almost every stream, so you should know it by now. And I just imported my supermarket table. Now, I also already have 3 other tables in here, which I can just open up briefly so we can talk about them. They are sort of simulating a real world scenario with data that a company might have. So for example, products. Some of these, so from what I was explained from the guy I was talking to from DataCoral, is essentially he has some kind of script that generates these terms. So they're kind of funny because some of them are just nouns put together, like gently used soft mouse. And this really reminded me like a lot of randomcodegenerator.lol. If you don't know about this project, it's from White Panther, where she spent a few streams going through this random code generator. So I can say I want some TypeScript, for example, or a little Docker. What's a little Docker? That's still quite a lot of Docker. And I contributed SQL to this. So we have some weird stuff that comes up, and just some of this reminded me a little bit of some of the values in this table because they're just generated randomly. This is really great. Yeah. See, Matty Tissues. I'm quite happy about that. It's my first open source code contribution, and you can see I'm feeling lucky, and it'll just randomize, which is really cool. All right, so enough self-promo for today. So we have a products table. Then we have a transactions table, which basically just has products that were in a transaction ID. So this one, there's a user ID associated with the transaction, which is in this users table. Yeah, you get the idea. So you can do like a whole load of joins and figure out, okay, who bought what at what time. And there is apparently someone in Switzerland, Brandon Randolph. Doesn't seem like a real address, but of course we're not, trying to audit this data set, right? And this is just fictitious stuff. Not that anyone on stream now tuning in says, oh, I'm sure that this is data breach, you shouldn't show users data on stream. I've made this mistake before, seeing emails on stream and thinking, oh no, this is not GDPR compliant, but this is just fictitious data, just so you know. Fake, fake, fake. So we have these 3 tables in here, and these 3 tables have this last updated field. You can see that column. So if we change something, we should see those things get logged, and we should see those logs actually go to our data warehouse. Now, what is our data warehouse? We could, of course, have a data warehouse in Postgres. It's not a real data warehouse because it's not very performant. Normally, you would use something like Redshift or Snowflake, something very high, or BigQuery, something really high performing. And that's where Snowflake comes in. So we have this Postgres CDC thing already created. We'll probably have to drop these now. I think. What did I do here? I did something weird here. I think I also have to refresh again. I may have had these tabs open for too long. Yeah, so I have essentially, yeah, no tables or views in the schema, exactly, because we deleted them. So what it does is it should copy from the changes captured natively in Postgres here in our DB. It should capture them and put them in our data warehouse, Snowflake. And then we can do whatever we want with them, right? So let's look at if this is, okay, it's still deleting, but it doesn't matter. We can still look at how this works. So how does DataCoral work? First, you add a connector, and the connector consists of two things. Three things, actually. Consists of three things. The first thing is a source, the second is a destination, and the third is a schedule, right? How long, how, when, how often is it going to run? Where is it going to take data from? And where is it going to put data? Now, it's quite interesting because you would think, having heard about the solution, when I first heard about the solution, I thought, okay, this is just for stuff between databases, right? Between, you know, MySQL and S3, or some JDBC connector to your own database, MongoDB and, you know, Redshift and stuff. But no, they have other solutions like Google Analytics and Salesforce and Zendesk and Marketo and Drift and even Jira and GitHub and stuff like that. Like, they have other sources in there too. And some of these connectors can be sources and destination, and some can just be sources and some can just be destinations. It has to do with how it works, obviously. And typically this kind of process is called ETL or ELT. If you're new to this field, basically ELT or ETL is just about extraction, transformation, load, or you flip the order of that where you're just loading all the data and transforming it afterwards. Then you'll put that in your data warehouse, then you'll do some stuff with it, maybe some transformations or whatever, run data science models on it to do some cool, I don't know, forecasting, who knows what. And then you might want to put it back into something else. So for example, into Salesforce. And that process is called reverse ETL, because you're basically taking all the data that you have and pushing it back into some other systems in order to use it like operationally. But yeah, that's just a short explanation about that. So what will we choose? Well, what we will choose depends on what we want to do. So what we want to do is we want to take data from Postgres and put it into Snowflake. So what we will do is we will add this Postgres CDC, and there's two different ones, right? There's the CDC enabled one, and MySQL has the same option, or like a traditional SQL based one, where you can write your own SQL code and say execute this at this runtime. So that's what I was explaining before, where you can say, all right, okay, so always fetch me the last 10 updated rows or something like that. That would be like a traditional SQL pipeline. Or, you know, give me a count of users, or I don't know what. So connector name, we'll just call this Postgres CDC. Very, very original. Destination warehouse, Snowflake. You can actually put this into more than one. So if you had something in Snowflake and in Athena, which I've never used, by the way, so don't ask me anything about it, you could actually send it to multiple destination warehouses. So you're already saying source and destination here. Very interesting about the architecture, which I won't go into detail because I also don't know too much about it. From our discussion with DataCoral is really interesting because the way that they deploy these connectors, they are separate microservices that run independently, and every installation of DataCoral. So when you fire up this, so this is a SaaS, right? I don't have this running on premise. You can run it on premise though. When you fire this up, it has a separate instance as well. So if someone else is using if someone else is doing a lot of stuff in DataCoral, like tons of loads, it has no effect on your instance, which is kind of cool because a lot of tools suffer from that. You know, people will say, oh yeah, use this before the US comes online and stuff like that. They don't have this problem. That's why I was saying before about, oh, it's slow for me. Doesn't have anything to do with their service. It's just literally my connection was slow for some reason. So each connector runs independently. This is where it's creating the microservice. I should have done this before so that I could talk during this setup time. I'm sorry about that. At least we have great musical accompaniment today. And chat has gone super quiet. I guess everyone fell asleep to the lovely chill electro jazz playing in the background and checking out some cool data analytics stuff. Makes me all sleepy as well. Very relaxing. I like doing that stuff in the evening, just watching a nice dev stream on Twitch, or you know, watching people create bar charts, maybe even pie charts. No, I'm joking. I don't watch anyone create pie charts. But if you stay subbed long enough to the channel, I believe at 12 months you will unlock a pie chart emote. So what I think everyone is doing are sitting in chat and then leaving my stream on, so they can collect as many channel points as possible so that they can just dump them into Facecam. That's what I think is happening. So Postgres server hostname. So you need to know the stuff that you need to access your instance, obviously. I'm copying this over from somewhere else that you don't see on screen because I don't want anyone to hack my Postgres instance. That would be pretty nasty. But you know, it's been known to happen. People have shown, you know, stream keys on stream and all kinds of stuff. But it's not going to happen today. I'm taking extra care. I am extra cautious. So this is the password. Voila. Now, there is something very interesting here that I have to talk about because I didn't know about this. When you first access a database, or you're accessing it again after deleting stuff or whatever, then typically you want to do a historical sync. The problem with that is that the historical sync, if you trigger a historical sync with the same user that you use to run incremental syncs, then the production workloads can get affected by that historical sync because it could take days. It could take days to do that. So DataCoral offers an interesting thing, which is you can actually run a replica for the historical sync itself. So with a different user or the same user, you can provide a replica so that you can not overload your production pipeline, which I think is super cool. Now you can click next here, and this is to protect people like me who just would go next. You actually have to check the connection first. I will not add that. Thank you, LastPass. Which I actually need to move off from. That reminds me. All right, so the connection was successful. That's great. I don't need to save that either. Now, how frequent do we want this? We're going to put it down to 5 minutes so we don't have to wait too long on stream. We can perform soft deletes. So if records get deleted, we can indicate a deletion in the warehouse using a timestamp column deleted at. If not checked, completely remove the record from the warehouse table. This is very interesting, and you need to be very cautious about something like this. So in the case of a user here, for example, imagine that Tina Freeman, imagine she contacts your company and says, hey, I want you to delete all my records because of GDPR, right? And I'm not saying whether it's legal or not, whatever. For someone they want to have their data deleted, fine. Now, if your company will know if you need to keep an alias of that user, or if you need to retain an alias of that record for some reason, for like an audit log of some kind. Given to Meow, hello and welcome. Welcome to the party. What's interesting here is if you delete this record now, okay, so if I would delete this row, then the CDC would capture the deletion and mark the record as deleted in our warehouse. But if you're not allowed to keep that user record for some reason, you wouldn't necessarily be able to do a soft deletion. You'd have to actually have a hard deletion as well. So we're gonna do this because we don't care right now, but I'm just telling you this so that you're aware, because it's a topic. So second thing, you can include or exclude certain tables. So if, for example, we don't want to include Supermarket Shiny in here, we could actually just put Supermarket Shiny in here. Oh, and as I learned, I need to specify the schema as well. So public.supermarketshiny, and then I can add it, and then it would not screen that as part of the CDC connector. But we want everything. We want literally everything every 5 minutes. So what it's going to do now is going to set up the CDC. It's going to make sure that the Postgres data set is set up to have CDC. I don't know exactly if we can even see that. No, I don't think we can see it here in DataGrip. And now comes the fun part. So this is the slot table. I have to be careful with my pronunciation or Twitch will ban me. The slot table is basically this... what was the explanation? I don't remember anymore what it was actually. I forget what that was. If there's someone from DataCoral in chat, they can answer that. I don't think it's extremely important for our purposes. But essentially now you can have these three tables that you can now monitor. And that's this extract mode incremental update. It will monitor these based on the CDC. So change data capture, because that's the connector that we made. So now it's telling you all the things. It's basically going through every single thing and deploying it and all that jazz. And hopefully after a few short seconds, we will get something cool out of it. So creating warehouse tables means we have a schema here, this Postgres CDC, where it should create those things for us in Snowflake, because that's the name of our connector. So it's taken this as the schema name, and then it'll just create the tables. Oh, creating warehouse tables is complete. I think we can refresh. Oh, it's up here. Yeah, refresh. Here we go. So you see here, DataCoral slot table, products, transactions, and users. So if I open these, if I go to products, for example, we can see that it's empty. There's nothing in here. We could probably also access Snowflake via JetBrains with DataGrip. I actually just realized. I think it supports Snowflake. Oh, it does. Oh, we should do that. Chat, who wants to do that? Who wants to see Snowflake in DataGrip? I kind of want to do that. That would be fun. I'll do that afterwards. First, we're going to make sure everything is working. All right, so... Oh, there was a failure here. That's fine. That was a while ago. That's interesting. So this is what I meant about the incrementality of the data. So this is running every 5 minutes, but you can see it already started at earlier today, 7:45. Oh wait, is that UTC? 7:45. Oh wait, right is older. Can't stay unfortunately, but hope you have a good stream. Meow. Why can't you stay? Rish. Hi. So we do have someone from DataCoral here. That's awesome. Snowflake in DataGrip does sound cool, so we should definitely try that. I was a bit confused about the timeline at first, but then I realized, aha, yeah, the right side is older. So essentially this was running every 30 minutes up until now, or something like that. I think I selected every 30 minutes. So 1300, 1230. This was previously every 30 minutes, but now I've changed it to 5-minute incrementality. Probably because I used the same name as before. It's just kept, it's kept some of the logs from before. So that's fine. It's no big deal. So I'm gonna enable this. That's the last thing we need to do to make sure that this is going to capture what's happening. And what's really cool is you can go to this historical syncs tab and you can see what's happened. So you can see here everything, what's happened at what time, and we can view logs as well, which I didn't do yet, but you can look at the logs that were created for everything, really everything. So there's so much here that you could do with. I mean, there's really so much information. I'm really happy the way that the product was built here, really. I think it's really impressive, the amount of thought that went into this. You can see here, so in progress, there was a failure here, probably because I did something weird. Now it's enabled, so it will capture this stuff every 5 minutes. Now, because we dumped the Snowflake stuff, we are starting from scratch, which is fine. Select star from transactions. So there's nothing here. What about I think it's products. Yeah. Oops. Products. Now I can spell it. There we go. So there's nothing in here as well. See, nothing's been changed. But if we are going to make a mutation, then it will capture it. That's what's really cool. So instead of me doing the mutation here in DataGrip, I think that's a bit boring. I think we should use DataCoral to do it, because that seems like a fun thing to do. So I'm going to add a transformation, Snowflake, destination schema. It's basically just going to run the stuff within its own table. Results of the transformation. Oh, I see. This isn't actually, okay, hold on. So I can run the transformation every 5 minutes. So I could randomly insert a new product every 5 minutes. That would be kind of funny. Why not? Could do something like that. We can also just do one first, just to show you that this works pretty neat. Let's do that. All right, so let's connect Snowflake first. And when I say Snowflake, I mean the Snowflake, not a Snowflake. Because I think having it in DataGrip would be pretty nice. So let's add, so I've never worked with Snowflake in here, but that should work, no problem. So we'll call this Snowflake EC. Driver Snowflake, okay. Host. I guess that's the host. I wonder if this will work. Noob! Hello, I see transcoding and 900p. How are you? Yeah, I did it for you. I did it for you. Also, oh yeah, the frames. Now I see the frames. Big shout out to Noob, because he also streams, and he streams incredible content, which I will have to use Memebox very soon, because I do want to play videos on stream and memes, because I think that's very funny. But yeah, there's something with the frames, and I will definitely have to test that. I actually set up OBS so that I can stream, so I can record, and the recording is not to a file but to a UDP stream so that I can test it on another laptop without going live. And that's pretty interesting. So I can test that a little bit more, and I didn't do that before, which is why it didn't work. Which is why the frames are droppy a bit. There was like emote explosion earlier because Dino dropped a gift sub and resubscribed for 2 months, and yeah, it just kind of exploded my screen. So the host, interesting. I've never connected to Snowflake, so let's hope that this works. What I can tell you is I have the information, so I should be able to do it. I don't know what ports and stuff, but I guess it's 443. I don't know, we'll just test it. That's an account. Wonder if that should be interesting. Should be interesting. Let's test the connection. Maybe it'll work first try. I don't think so. Oh my god. How is this possible? I have such luck today. That's crazy. Noob, thank you for contributing to Facecam. Inching closer. Wow, Noob. 10,000 channel points? How could... Yeah, I can't believe how this worked first try. That's pretty awesome. Props to Snowflake, man. Mad props. Oh. Manage Shonoshimas. I mean, the connection worked, but it... Yeah, it worked. First try. That's nuts. Only have 400 left. You must have been watching so much of my channel. Manage Shonoshimas. Postgres. There we go. Yay! Now we have everything in here. Awesome. We don't even need to use this anymore. Bye. So we can also, well, we can just keep that open for the moment. So this ingest connector, which is essentially a pipeline, it's running all the time. It's running every 5 minutes. It is alive. It's alive. So if we change something, we should see the data in products. Let's do split screen. Like this. And let's do... Which table should we modify? Oh no, I didn't want to do that. Okay, let's split and move this right. There we go. Okay, so on the right side is our product table in Snowflake, which, as you can see, has nothing in it because there have been no changes to our actual source product table here. But if we were to add another product, so we have a shiny new product here, let's add another one. Let's see, let's add another one. I have like a statement prepared. Insert into products values 102. Let's call this brand new brand. Let's call this brand noob product. Fancy hat VTuber add on. Can anyone guess who this is about? Brand new productions. Exactly, and the price is of course $69.69. Or no, let's do more realistic. $420.69. All right, and the updated ad is now. So execute. This took 2 seconds. Let's check the products table. Bloop. There's our new VTuber. Fancy hat VTuber add-on. Now, what has happened here in Snowflake? Nothing yet, because it has to run every 5 minutes. So we can go to a different table and do the same thing. Maybe transactions. Why not? I'm just trying to stay consistent with the IDs. I don't want to do some weird stuff. I don't want to mess up my data. Let's see, 10,000. The transaction ID. Oh, interesting. We have to actually figure out what the max transaction ID is, because I don't know what it is. Select max transaction. Oh no, it's ID. It's just called ID. From transactions. The max is 10,000. Cool. Very easy. So we'll just insert a new one. I've also have a little DML. Thank you for providing that, DataCoral. So I don't need to write all these from scratch. So 10,001. What are we putting here? User ID, product ID. So let's put someone who purchased the noob thing. So I don't know. User 69 purchased product 102. They purchased it today. And what's 5? Count. We only purchased, I don't know, 99 of them. VTubers. Alright, we just purchased one VTuber. That makes sense. What did we pay? The cost was 420.69. We paid purchase price. Okay, so we'll insert that. That executed, I guess. We should have 10,001 rows now. We do. Ta-da! 10,001. User ID 69, purchased ID 102. We could do some little analytical queries with this data set just afterwards, just to play around if we need to wait. So products and transactions. Now we can go look. Oh, there's already one in here, I think. No? It's still loading. Oh, no, still not in there. So we can go check the status here in DataCoral to see when the last run was. So 2202. It's obviously UTC. I can just refresh now. So this was a failure, 7:30. Let's check products. So we can see here, historical sync, April 6th until 5:02 p.m. Oh, that was when we first did it. Okay. Please note the timetables are in blah, blah, blah. So 1900 success. So it hasn't done anything yet, but we can trigger historical sync just to make sure that we have the stuff. So now we can go to the sync tab. I think it's here. Fun times. Do 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 do. Little mambo. Products not started, so it will be starting this very soon. So the last sync was because we didn't do a historical sync yet for all of them, that it didn't capture them yet. That could be, who knows. Can I not refresh these? There we go. Mambo. So it should capture for products. We can also do the one for transactions. I didn't do anything with the users. I don't think we'll do it on the users. There's no point. So we'll do sync. Where are my 2 shoes? Well, Flickr, you have to sub to get bar charts and very soon emotes. They're not there yet, I'll be honest with you. But they're in production. I have given them to a good friend of mine and they will be produced soon. Or, you know, you should have some shoes lying around. I mean, I don't know how you go out of the house, but you should definitely. But you can spend your points on the face cam. It's true. Hi Flickr, do you have any channel points? Oh gosh, yeah. 970. Okay, there we go. Yeah, yeah. And you can, oh yeah, true. You can sub for free with Prime. Thank you for reminding me, my bot. I am my bot. I am a bot myself. So let's refresh. Still nothing in there. Yeah, my bot does that with the custom timers. I haven't left my house in 2 weeks. Really? Like literally you haven't gone outside at all in 2 weeks? That's impressive. You get your shopping delivered to your doorstep? That would be my biggest issue. I think we messed up something, chat. I think we done messed up. Because the last sync was at 1900. I think we broke it. I think we done broke it. It's possible that I really broke something. No, my fiance works at Walmart, so personal shopper. Wow, that's But what about like fresh air? Wait, does your terrace or like balcony, does that count as leaving your house? I actually don't know if that counts. You're still within the territory. Ah, it's in progress. Okay, we need to wait a minute. What is fresh air? So, the way I would describe fresh air is basically if you open up your computer. So I don't know, High Flicker, you probably have a PC. I don't know if you have a Mac or PC, but let's assume you have a PC. If you open your PC and you look around where the fans are, that is the definition of fresh air. These timers, I really should change them. Although I think I put them at like 30 minutes or something. So that's not so bad. And they are kind of important. I mean, I don't really earn money from Twitch. I just do it for the lols. As these are in progress, I will take this opportunity to make a short biological break, and I shall be back momentarily. I'm back. So one timer writes the command, the other reacts on the command. No. I use stream elements, and stream elements just has a timer function where you can write whatever you want in the timer in the chat. And all I do is I write the command, and then the command triggers the other command. I mean, writing the command in the timer triggers the actual command itself. Now, what's funny is that Stream Elements allows you to use your own username as your bot name. Which is why it looks like I type it. It's exactly as I wrote it. seems so one timer writes the command, the other reacts on the command. Ah, I thought you meant the other timer reacts. No, you're right. Absolutely right, noob. My bad. So let's see if these historical syncs are done. Success. All right. Let's see. I think I missed the first hour. What's today's goal? Today's goal. We are testing out this solution, DataCoral, which supports something very, very interesting called CDC. And CDC, just say again, is basically a lifesaver for analytics people. Because if changes are made to, oh yeah, here, now you can see. If changes are made to a table, so for example, something is inserted into this table, like we saw here with the products, we inserted this new row. Now, your ETL pipeline might miss this change because it might look at, you know, last updated or something like that. You can get around it, right? You can say if max last updated of the table is greater than the one that the last runtime of your ETL tool, then okay, give me all the rows that I didn't get last time, or using some IDs or whatever. Like, you can do all kinds of stuff, but it can be very complicated, and you can miss data because something could change here. We could change the price again, like 2 or 3 times we could change the price, but if your ETL tool doesn't run frequently enough, it will miss those changes. And the nice thing is about CDC, change data capture, it captures inserts, updates, and deletes. And so those are stored in native logs. And that's basically, I would have needed this like 3 years ago when I was setting up a lot of data pipelines at my last employer. I really would have needed this because we did exactly as you normally do without a CDC connector, as you say, okay, the pipeline last ran at 7:30, so check if anything has changed since 7:30, and if anything has changed, it's an automatic change logger for everything. Yeah, inserts, updates, and deletes. So MySQL and Postgres need to be set up for that, but I don't know if there are any other, what the... Sorry, I'm changing this. That was too weird. MySQL and Postgres both support CDC. This is a kind of understanding of how it works. So let's just open this image here. So this is essentially what happens. You have a database. There's a CDC connector. The CDC connector captures those change logs and puts them in these change logs, which you can then put into your warehouse like Snowflake. And then you can also, with a replica, run your actual SQL pipelines. So, I don't know, analytical queries or any kind of queries, where it pushes it into historical data or incremental. And then you can have this, basically your incremental table, and then you can do your checks, right? You can run checks and say, does this line up? Do the change logs match to the historical data that I'm capturing? You know, did I miss something? That's really, really smart. It's really smart. And for high performance analytics setups, like, for example, data products that rely on very, very accurate information, or, you know, healthcare, or who knows, this is kind of critical because your ETL pipeline would otherwise miss that we inserted a brand new product. So let's, so you see here, this last updated here, it will be logged, and in the slot table, this mutation should have been captured. From what I understand about the slot table, that's how it should have worked. My understanding is also somewhat limited still. Maybe it's not the slot table. Maybe that was something else. I think that was something else. But I also don't see this running properly, so I probably messed something up. But anyhow, so I'm just hydrating. Anyhow, there's also transformation support. So not only can you take data from somewhere and put it somewhere else in a certain schedule, you can also run transformations. So basically executing SQL. And then there's also a publisher, which I don't think we went through that one. We'll have to leave that one out for the moment. I don't remember what that was. Unless someone from DataCoral is in chat, then they can say what publisher is, but I don't remember what it is. Or maybe it's in their documentation. You can just look publisher. Oh yeah, that's right. So this is what I talked about in the beginning with the reverse ETL. You can have a publisher send this data back to a certain system, like for example, Salesforce. So example use case, you pull all of your data from your MySQL customer database, or Postgres in this case, for example. So you have users, transactions, and products, and you want the users table, you want these to be converted into records in Salesforce, for example, contacts. So what you can do is you can run your ingest connector with CDC. And then you can run another connector with normal SQL, for example. But I don't think it would be necessary actually, because you already have this users table here, right? In Snowflake. So essentially you just, I mean, I didn't enable it, which is why, because I didn't trigger historical sync. That's why there's nothing here. But essentially you'd have, for example, like the products, you have all your data in there. Where product, where ID equals 102. We're just gonna try something out. Yeah, and then we're gonna mutate the product. That's why I'm doing this. And then, so if everything was in Snowflake, that's your data warehouse, you would then run another transformation from your Snowflake, or basically a publisher, right? You would run from Snowflake out to Salesforce. That would be, you would create a contact record from that using Salesforce batch API, for example. So there's really ETL is super powerful. Depending what you need to do, it's a great way to achieve it. Like operational or even analytical in nature. Like it's really, there's no limit. So let's have a look here. What happens if we start to change this, for example? So we're going to change this to brand noob. And then I'm going to permute this. So what I've done is I've actually changed, you can see here, the update statement that was run. Update public product, set product name equals brand new product where ID equals 102. So I updated the name of the product. And what I did here is I just have a filter for, I can actually transpose this, might make it easier to see. I just have a filter here for just that product. Now CDC, what it should do is it should automatically capture this product name change. That's what makes this so interesting for me, because I would never need to write ETL pipelines anymore to say, oh, when last timestamp updated at blah, blah, blah. I can just rely on the CDC connector to actually do it for me. There may be a problem There may be an issue with the CDC connector because I named it the same as the last one. I may have to update this. Maybe we update it, because I think that's why it's not working properly. This is fine. Oh, so there's, okay. Let's check the audit log. See, this is what I mean. If you have some kind of issue, you can see what happened. Oh, that's very interesting. So there was on April 6th, which was last week, is when we did the historical syncs. So I shouldn't need to do that anymore. Shouldn't need to do that anymore. Products. Because it is loading every 5 minutes, right? Should be loading every 5 minutes. 1955. Let's not do that. Yeah, it doesn't seem to have found the most recent updates. What's this one? 1900. When did we make this change? We just made it now, right? 22... When did we do it? When did we do the update? It's just a few minutes ago, I guess. So let's, I don't know, reprocess? I think I messed something up by naming it the same as the one that I deleted before. Because there hasn't been an update here. Most recent data timestamp invalid. Yeah. So let's 8:15 would be 10:15. Let's reprocess this. Maybe we just need to kick it off again or something. You know? Oh. Snowflake CDC products. That's interesting. Cannot reprocess due to following sequential refresh MVs. Oh. Oh, and there's a small typo here. That's good, now they know. They're probably watching on stream going, oh no, we have a typo in that error message. Well, that's good, now you can fix it, no big deal. Okay, so that's interesting. I wonder what MVs stands for. I was speaking to DataCoral last week and I was saying, you know, I'm surprised that you want me to like do this on stream because I have a tendency to break stuff. So here we are, having broken something. So I will disable this connector. And I think I will create another ingest connector. So that one won't run anymore. I'm gonna call this Postgres new CDC into Snowflake. Wow, the music is really fitting for this circus that we've got going here. No one hears a fan in the background when I talk, right? I mean, you shouldn't, is what I'm saying. But if you would tell me, right, chat? I would be severely disappointed if you didn't tell me. Very interesting tracks you get when you set Pretzel to surprise me. Get some funny stuff. So it's deploying the microservices. Did that answer your question, by the way, Noob and High Flicker? Did it answer your question about what we're doing today? We are taking this tool for a spin. Seeing what it can do, seeing how we can break it. Break it till you make it. Alright, so let's set up the Postgres instance again. So what's fun is, like, if something would work, if something wouldn't work and you needed to do this again, then this isn't a huge deal, right? Because CDC on our Postgres database has captured all of these changes. And that's what the historical sync would actually now trigger, is we would actually be able to see all of those historical changes despite the fact that this pipeline wasn't running at the time. So say you had an outage, for example, or of some kind, but your database kept updating stuff, right? Wouldn't be an issue. And that's where I think this really shines, is because those logs are there. You might as well use them. You really might as well. Every 5 minutes. DataCoral person here, thanks for breaking it. We will definitely fix it and make it better for next time. Great, Rish. I'm glad you're happy that I broke it. I do like to break things. I did tell you. But look, this is software development, you know, not everything is perfect, but all right, so let's sync this stuff. I mean, as I said before, it's still like super quick. I really like that, how fast it is. A lot of cloud software is really, it just feels very sluggish, and this really has a nice pace to it, a good tempo, as they say. And I don't mean tempo the Kleenex, if you're European. I feel the pain working a product and seeing it break live. Oh, noob. Yeah, I know what that's like. Every analytics implementation ever, when someone finally goes to the website and just breaks your tracking in some way. All those scripts you spent hours and hours programming just to have one user like do something strange that you didn't account for, and then bye-bye. And then the data just ends up looking like garbage. That reminds me.
Garbage.
Gets me every time. It's from a McDonald's training video from the 80s or something, where this woman is far too enthusiastic about garbage. Garbage. Let's see it again because it's funny.
Garbage.
Oh, this just really cracks me up. We can always fire up Code Generator as well for some good lulls. My favorite one is I managed to include, and I don't know how this worked, but I managed to include select, the actual key select, select as dinosaur glass. Oh, this is so entertaining. I click through this sometimes in meetings. I might need to use that video for some of my code / stuff. Feel free. Noob crown. Yeah, there's some very funny ones in here. The highlighting is really interesting. Have you noticed that somehow it highlights things and sometimes not? All right, because of the reserved keys. So like income schnitzel bedroom. What is this? Select Fleisch from schnitzel bedroom. This is great. Oh, it's finished. Sorry, this is what we're actually here for today. Let's enable this. Now we should trigger. That's the Bayern luxury suite. Yeah, you go to a hotel, it's like the schnitzel bedroom, please. That's pretty genius. So we will trigger historical sync for products, and now we will see if we actually get the stuff that we're supposed to see. So at the moment in Snowflake, we have just one record for one result, one record for the brand new product. But as we can see here, we adapted it, so it should pull in the new one once the historical sync has finished. I'm not used to waiting for stuff because I do everything locally. Let's be honest, that's the fastest way to do it. But you know, we have to be patient. Yeah, so this is a new one. So this is because obviously this name is generating an ID in the background, or it's not generating an ID in the background, and DataCoral, you're using the name as the ID. And of course, if someone goes and creates a new connector with the same name, that could potentially cause issues, as we saw. As I said, I'm a good QA guy, because I tend to find lots of fun stuff to break, basically. Oh, I know what we won't see it here. It will only be in it'll only be in the new one. Yeah, it'll only be in the new schema. So actually we should have a new schema here. Manage shown schemas. Refresh. Look at that. Okay. Manage new schemas. Oh, it's already here. Okay. Ah, look, there's the backfill. I think that's a temp table because it hasn't finished yet. We can move that over. I would like to have the products here on the right. Oh. Fancy hat VTuber add-on. Product name, brand new product. Look at that. So it captured that change. Very cool. So that's really cool. That's basically exactly what we wanted to see. So just to summarize that, just so it's clear. I don't know if the backfill's finished. Hold on. Let's check it out. Products. Where's the backfill? I forget where this was. It was here somewhere. Historical sync. Yeah. Okay, so it's still in progress. Essentially, once the backfill is finished, this is such a powerful thing. It really is. Okay, so we have the products now. Voila. So our brand new product, we can do the same thing on both sides, where ID equals 102. So we have a new product, and basically this is like our master, right? This is our master data table. But in here, oh yeah, now we can see it. So we go to, I don't want to transpose anymore, where ID equals 102. So we see here, this is the most current version, but where are, now that it's monitoring STC, the logs, is it still in progress? I think it finished. I think it finished. I think it finished. Yes. Wonderful. Success. So it should have previous permutations. So let's try like this. Let's try and change this to fancy express streaming VTuber add-on. How do I submit? There it is. Submit. So we've now made a change to the product name. And then we'll do another one. We'll change the price to 69.42. Just so we have two changes in there. All right. So you see only one product here, but here I actually should get multiple records. I believe. It's not the slot table, right? No, it's not the slot table. $759, yeah, that's right. So now, yeah, 2030. So the next one will be 2035. So it will execute again very shortly. And essentially, we should be able to see the changes because they were captured, because it was an update. That's my understanding. Maybe I also understand it wrong. Oh yeah, see? So Fancy Express Streaming VTuber add-on. See? Now it has the most updated version. Again. It has the old price. So it's, with the next update, it'll update this price. Where do I find the actual change history? This is the thing. I know that there's a... I know that the change log is somewhere. I remember seeing it. Because that's the whole point of CDC, is that you can access that whole log. Where was that? I didn't like that song so much. Ah, where was that? Products? CDC? Products? Ooh, nice. Some D&B dependency graph. That's funny. What's that? Upstream dependencies, downstream dependent. Oh, these are just the dependencies. Oh, I see. Oh, MV probably stands for map view. If I had to guess. Interesting. So Rish, if you're still watching, I actually don't remember where the logs are, essentially, for all of the mutations to the products table. Because essentially all the products, all the mutations that I've done are now stored, because that's how CDC is able to capture them. No, it's not in the data. It's not in the slot table. That's where I thought it would be. But there's nothing in here. I think I probably just did something wrong. So it has 420.69 as the... Strange. It hasn't caught the last change. Strange. Oh, maybe because it's still working on it. still running. I don't know, I think it runs at like every 34 or something like that. So I expected to see the history in the slot table, basically. Because that's where we saw it last time. But I probably messed up something with the connector. Most probably. That's my assumption. Or I have to trigger it. But no, the slot table doesn't need historical sync, because that's the one that stores the changes. Snowflake, Postgres, new CDC, DataCoral slot table. This looks like it's doing its thing. Okay. Interesting. The last oh yeah, I did a historical sync as well. Oh yeah, so now it has the updated price in it. So that just took a bit to get in. Ah, here it is. Okay. Yeah, now it's in here. This is what I was trying to show. So, this is what is so cool. This is what is so awesome about CDC. Yeah, it's just it's only going to capture the new connector, of course. Yeah. This is incredible. So, let's look at what data is in here now. I'm just going to open up Sublime so we can take a look at this. Can I tidy this? I think I have a little tidy thing. So this is so cool because, oh, loose with the raid. Thank you very much, Loose. Hello, White Panther. Thank you for contributing to Facecam. Shout out to White Panther. We have been using random code generator while we had a few seconds to spare in between waiting for things to load. That was very entertaining. Thank you, Lutz, as well, for your contribution to Facecam. Massive hype. Massive hype. We just had success, so your timing is incredible. Basically, what this does is, if I make changes to this product, then it captures them in the background in this slot table. So it updates this other table in our data warehouse, but it also captures the change itself. Oh, is there only 6% left? Really? Oh my gosh, it's at 94%? Oh. I wasn't thinking that Friday would already be Facecam. Oh. We had success but ended on failure. But it's less failure and more knowledge gap, so it gives me something to research ahead of Wednesday. That sounds good. Well, we had failure until now because I broke stuff. So how is your project going? Yeah, we had failure until now, but now we've had success, so it's kind of cool. Essentially, what happens is it's gonna log all the changes to our tables in the background using something called change data capture, which is very, very cool. Jay Walter asks, does it have to be your face? I don't get the tonality on this one. You're gonna have to help me up on that one. Does it have to be my... So is it... Where's the intonation? Does it have to be your face? Or does it have to be your face? I'm not sure about tonality. Where the intonation is. In any case, so if we modify this product again, so we're going to call this the That Noob Extreme, like this product. Then I'm going to submit this. What will happen is in the background, it will come up here. Obviously, CDC will CDC will update our products table in the data warehouse. So basically, this is our source, and in the destination, we want to show our updated data, which is fine. Oh dear. Ian Alex Hart. I need to wait until end of stream to donate, so I maximize my donation. If you think the challenge is going too fast, just put someone else's face there for a bit. Smart. Noob Extreme Productions. Exactly. Thank you, Ian. Is that a donation? I'm not sure. Does it count as a donation? Technically it's a donation because I'm donating the money to charity. So yeah. Yeah, technically. Technically it is. So yeah, this runs every 5 minutes. So obviously at some point this will change. And then we will also get another row in our slot table. And the slot table is what logs all those changes to your tables in your source. And that's what's so cool, is because it's showing you here, you see it has all these native timestamps here about when it was loaded, if it was deleted at. So for example, if I deleted this row and we had ticked soft deletion in the source, in the CDC connector as an option, then it would mark the deleted at time for us, even if the database didn't support, if the source database didn't support that. And that's what's so cool about this. I can't get over how cool this is, because in analytics very often we miss, or working with data, we miss this stuff because someone decides that they'll just delete something or rename IDs or whatnot. So so this thing is running. And if you're just joining the stream, this is the DataCoral product, which we're taking for a tour today. Here's a little link if you want to check it out for yourself. I believe they have a free trial, so you can try it out for yourself if you're curious. It's a SaaS, but you can also run it on premise, which is nice. Not a lot of ETL or ELT tools offer both options today, so that's quite unique. And CDC is a very unique offering. This change data capture, I hadn't seen that until today. So maybe other tools support it, but it's definitely the first time I've seen it. And that's definitely saying something. Because I'm an expert, yo. Nah, I'm kidding. I am not necessarily an expert, but I've worked with quite a few different data engineering tools by now. And I'd never heard of one that supports this natively. So, essentially what we're waiting for is this to complete, and then we should see, so it's started now again, in progress, 8:45. Wonder if it's already here, the data. We can untranspose this. We should see a second row here. Let's check if the product has updated. So, this is already updated. We can see here, that new extreme product that's now updated from the original, from the source. We can see the timestamps, that they're identical, 5921, 5921. That hasn't changed obviously because we haven't changed our timestamps because we're lazy, but we could technically do that. And now the slot table should technically get a second entry once it's finished processing, which it hasn't yet. So we need to wait for that. And speaking of waiting,
Apollo 10, Houston, 2 minutes to LOS. Everybody here says Godspeed.
Okay, and we'll see you right on the other side in orbit.
Roger, 76, 22, 55.
we're just waiting here. Thought I'd play that one because the song ended, so it was the perfect chance. So, is this already finished? And Panther, how was your stream earlier today? I managed to catch quite a bit of it, but I had a few meetings in between. Unfortunately. As it is during the day, you know, for those of us that can't stream our work, we have to attend meetings. It is unfortunate. Oh, Loose! How does the bot pick which song to play next? So Rish asks. So basically I just use Pretzel Rocks and it's on Surprise Me. So it just picks whatever song is next randomly, essentially. Loose, I have something for you. If you're still here, I made something for you. I think we need to pause the music though. I made this for you. Shout out to Loose with the battle cry. I think I need to make the battle cry a little bit longer. And I need to do something about the frames because the frames are a bit nasty. But yeah, I'm trying to make custom shoutouts for everyone. It's taking a lot of time. I spent so much time thinking about what it is that I want to have in the shoutout, and the actual making it part is so short. Oh, it's updated. Okay, I've talked enough. We should see now. All right, will it still be? Yes. Okay. So this is what I wanted to show you. It's actually not a second row. It's a second entry in the JSON. Where's my Sublime thing? Oh, it disappeared. Sorry about that. So this is what we had before. Now look what we have. What? I thought it would be another one. Really? I thought there would be two in here. Should there not be two? Maybe it hasn't written it yet? No. It's identical. That can't be. It's not possible. Because we just changed the name. The product name. Brand new product? Okay. Strange. Huh? It hasn't updated the product name, which is odd. I did an update on the table, so it should have captured that, right? I think. I'm confused. Oh, it's still in progress? Or is that the newest one? Because this should have... Yeah, this is the old product name. So it'll either have a second row... Maybe it's a caching thing or something. Maybe there's some kind of caching? I don't know. Go, Nyancat, go! Where... Row type? I don't know, where... DC... What's it called? DC time label is not null, for example. Just to see, maybe there's some kind of caching layer in between or something. No? Okay. Strange. Odd? I mean, I would have assumed... Should have either written another entry in the JSON. Did it not capture it? I don't know. It would have. It captures every update. That's my understanding. Maybe it's not the case. Yeah, the product name is still the same entry as before. So it should have... Is the product table in Snowflake updated? Yes. It did update. That noob extreme product. So again, I probably messed something up, which is causing the issues, but it is a bit odd. It's a mystery. Deep within the slot table, they are attempting to find out why the data is not there. Strange. So the right side is the slot table here. Would we expect to see a second row, Rish, or would it add another entry to this JSON in the row column? What would be the actual expectation? It would be cool if it added just another entry, but I guess it adds another row, right? Yeah, exactly. Okay. Well, there's only one way to test this. We make another change. We will change updated at to 2055. And where's the submit again? Too small, too small. Come on, it's too small. There it is. So we did the update. Set last updated. Okay. So that's done. So we should see now. Eventually this will update in the product table in Snowflake, and then this should also get updated. There should be a second row. And that takes a few minutes. So in the meantime, to keep myself occupied, because I don't like waiting, we're just going to write some little analytical query here. What should we start with? Let's start with users. Let's imagine in the meantime, let's call users U. Let's imagine we were going to try and make some cohorts of who bought what over time, something like that. So with purchases, do we even need a CTE? Maybe not. We can just left join everything. Left join users. Left join. We already have users, so we do transactions on. Oh, but then we won't see any products that aren't being purchased. We should do it the other way. Let's do it the other way. Products key. PP. Left join. Transactions. T on T dot. Products. Oh, do we have an ID in here? Product ID. Product ID equals P dot ID. Left join users U on U dot ID, I believe. They're called ID, yeah. Equals T. Oh, but then we don't see users who don't have. Fine. Just do like I don't know. Just do some weird thing. I don't know, full join or something. Just do a full join. Select star from users U, comma, and then we do this jazz. And we'll alias this. Come on. We'll alias this as like T1 or something. Okay. Ugliest query ever, but you know. Whee! Data frame. Everything together. Let's see if this updated yet. No, 7:59. So it's not updated yet. Let's do a refresh. All right. Alrighty then. In progress. 2055. Yeah, so that's the one that's running now. Okie dokie. So we should see. Let's not save that. Should see a second row here. Eventually. Sleepy time. Good night, J. Walter. Sleep well. Have beautiful dreams. Dream of SQL, if you can. Those are always the best dreams. What else can we write here? Okay, so let's check out the users that have not purchased anything. So u.id, do they have names? This is our data frame here. Yeah, u.firstname concat. Let's make a little space so we can print the full name nicely. u.lastname. Ooh, what's it doing here? As user full name. Okay. And then case when. Oh, we don't even need a case when, do we? Count. Rish, you have to go to a meeting. Thank you for joining. Thank you for your help as well. I hope that... Yes! Look at that. That timing is impeccable. So the products table has been updated, 8:55:21, and we now have a second row with our change. And that is exactly what we wanted to see. That is exactly the point of CDC. That it's logging these changes with the native update and insert and delete functionalities of the table. It's doing that natively. We didn't have to configure anything special. We didn't have to write extra SQL. We didn't have to do any of that stuff. So we can log all of these changes. Now, of course, we could set up something in DataCoral to transform stuff. If you update it twice in that 5-minute slot, would you also get 2 rows? That is a very good question. From what I understand about CDC, yes, because it should be able to capture from the native logs. It doesn't miss any changes. So let's test that out. So if we do, let's change the price to this 6900.42, and we will also change that noob extreme product upgrade plus, and we'll submit that too. So basically it's done 2 updates, right? See? So first update was here, set price, Prime Pro Plus. Yeah, and then we'll wait a few minutes and see if it does that. But in the meantime, we can continue with our little query. I know it's fictitious data set, but it's just fun to write this stuff. Don't you agree? Just love writing SQL. So we have our full name, and then we count the distinct T. Oh wait, T1 dot. Oh, we need to rename these. We need to rename these because there's duplicate fields. E dot star. Do we need everything? P dot ID as product ID. Oh, you know what? We can actually P dot. If we do P dot, it actually should give us, yeah, it should give us all of them. And then we can break them into rows. Oh, come on. What's happening here? I promise I didn't write that, noob. I promise. I promise. It's the bot. It has a timer. What can I say? So we have p.id as product ID. Product name, product price. Oh no, we have to do an alias, right? As product price. P last updated doesn't interest us. And then we do t dot something. T dot here, like that. Voila. T dot cost. T dot ID, user ID, product ID, T dot count. Ah, this is okay. So this is as order count or order amount. Let's call it. Purchase date, product ID, T dot user ID, T dot ID as transaction ID. So now we've cleaned up this table a bit. I'm gonna call this transaction total. Yeah. So not the cleanest query we've ever written, chat. But we will now do t1 dot transaction ID is order count. Right? Oh, forgot the group by. Yeah. Group by 1. Order by 2 descending. And we have our first successful query of the day. Oh gosh, what? Oh, that looks like fun. Fun times. Oh, right, because we didn't do a join here. Yeah, that was a mistake. I wanted to do left join. This. Left join blah blah blah, which we'll call T1 as T1 on T1 dot. I knew it felt like a cross join. Yeah, it really was, without wanting it to be that way. T1 dot user ID. Oh wow, it auto completed. Tab 9, man, that thing slaps. That slaps. It really does. Why is it not liking this? Oh yeah, because it's ID, not user ID. So that should be better. Yep, that's better. Some very dubious amounts, but it's I mean, it's generated by a script, so it's definitely possible. How many users do we have? Just to do a little sanity check. We have 100 users. So there's one user that didn't buy anything. Is that possible? Probably. Which user has not purchased anything? u.id as user ID. Group by, before I forget, group by 1, 2, and order by 3 descending. Emily bought the noob package. User ID. I feel like, oh no, there's 100 results. There's 100 rows. Okay, so all the users have purchased something. Okay, so that analysis was pretty much useless. So not the order count. So we'll just use sum of T1 dot transaction total is total lifetime transactions. I don't know. Lifetime spend is a better one. Yay! Now we have a more accurate picture. So this would be an example of a real case, a real analytics case of trying to figure out who spent the most. Obviously this is pretty nasty, so we should round it. Round this to 2 decimal places. Oh, I hate this one. Can we float that? Nope, nope, nope. I always have a problem with this, and I still haven't gotten to the bottom of it. Why doesn't it allow me to do this? I don't know. I really haven't gotten to the bottom of it. There should be a reason, but I don't know what the reason is. So, back to our stuff here. Product table. We changed something. We added like upgrade plus plus and 6900, right? Those were the 2 updates. I think those 2, yeah. 6900, and we changed the name. So now in the products table, we should see upgrade plus plus and the new price. Good. Now in the slot table, there should be 2 more rows. Look at that, Mr. Noob. This answers your question. So you can see the first one is the price, 69. You can't see this, it's off thing, hold on. I can't even show this because it's JSON stuff. You have to believe me. Okay, so I'll show you the first one like this. JSON format this. Nice, so it's for all changes. Exactly, and that's essentially the point, is that even if you make like 100 changes during that 5-minute time window, it doesn't matter. It's gonna get all of the changes that happened. And I can prove that, right? So this was the first row. This was the first change that we had. See? Last updated. Okay, that's the last updated from our field. But you see, we have an actual Unix timestamp of when this was changed. These were loaded at the same time, but you can see the Unix timestamp is different. So 36981 and 35835. You see? So you actually have the modified add. This is coming from the native CDC log. So if you were to put all of these into one thing, you would see exactly all of the changes for one product. Of course, you'd have to take out this JSON data and work with it, but it's nicely formatted and everything. Not like the JSON data we had with my supermarket receipts. So that's really, I mean, it's mind-blowing actually, because it's not something I was aware of as that existed as a product, right? So that's what's really cool about this. Let me just say one thing about change data capture. I never actually looked, but apparently there are tools. So Equalum, Hivo, I think I've heard of them before. HVR, IBM, Click, which is pretty old actually. Oracle, which is also pretty old. Precisely, apparently. Stream sets, Stream, Talent. Oh, so actually they're not even in this list. That sucks. That's terrible. When was this? What? This can't be good. I'm gonna send this to them afterwards saying you should definitely get on this list. But yeah, I'm saying like maybe they're not the only solution provider, but the solution they've built is awesome. It's truly, it works super well. And it was very easy to set up. Granted, I worked a lot of stuff, but that's just me, right? Working stuff. I like the solution. And in the SQL transformation thing, we can write our like traditional SQL stuff. If we wanted to write more traditional SQL stuff. Transformation. we could add a new one here. So here, Snowflake, batch compute, that's like for custom Python functions. So destination schema, destination table, time interval, and then transformation. So you can just have like this query, for example. You could just run this query, for example. We could try it. I think it's pretty silly, but we could try it. I could run this once a day, for example, to get always my like user spend or something, right? What do I want to do? Append? Destination schema. Oh, we'll just take the same one so we don't cause problems. Postgres new CDC, and we'll call this user spend or something. Upstream dependencies. That's interesting. So I think that's, you can set if something needs to execute before it to avoid like wrong numbers, for example. Regular. How frequently? Well, I'm going to set it to 5 minutes because I don't know when the next runtime will be. Add transformation. We are attempting to create your transformation. This is not something I tested yet. I just wanted to do this before we logged off for the night. Cool. So what it's going to do is just going to append these 100 rows every time, assuming that it knows how to run the query, which shouldn't be an issue, to be honest. User spend. Ah, so it's added it to that connector because it's a transformation on the existing. Oh, that's interesting. Okay. You could technically get historical data for this table as well, in a way. That's kind of cool. So when will the next execution be? 5 minutes. And you can see the SQL right here as well. It's a beautiful SQL, isn't it? Beautiful, beautiful SQL. Okay, so that is going to execute soon. So we should see... Let's get rid of this stuff. We should see... here, we should see a new table appear. Once that has run for the first time. I don't know when it triggers though. How do we know when it triggers? That's the thing. I just said every 5 minutes. Okay, well, it'll trigger at least every 5 minutes. So at most in 3 or 4 minutes from now. Did anyone want to ask questions? Of course, I didn't say that actually, but this is a learning stream. Like I don't know a lot of things, and so I use my time on stream to learn things, and I share that with the community. So if there's something you wanted to ask, then please do. Like, don't hold back, even if it's not directly about what we're doing today. It can also just be general data related questions. Anything you'd like to know. Oh, it created the table already. I think it's running. Nice. So there's a DC time label, which is yeah, I assume the timestamp of the insertion. And you could get really meta and include the CDC changes of the user spend table as well in Snowflake for changes. Technically, I should be writing this into Postgres as a data source again or something like that. Who knows? Nothing yet? Okay. So yeah, 7 best CDC tools. Okay, so Hevo has a little comparison thing. Click, Debezium, Talent. These are like all like kind of old school software in a way. Oh, let's check out G2. I don't know if you ever have looked at G2. Best data replication software. So it's not even classified as ETL, it's actually replication. It's very interesting. So Click, Nakivo, SnapMirror, Fivetrans in there. Liftron, CouchDB, interesting. DBSync, Rubric. Some native, like some specific Salesforce stuff. Elasticache, never heard of that one. From Amazon. Okay. HVR. Yeah, there's like a bit of a mix of everything in here. Because, I mean, Cassandra on its own is not necessarily a replication. It depends how it's instrumented, right? We should check out DataCoral. They should be on here. Oops. Oh, there's 0 ratings. Okay, we should definitely leave a rating if we can. When I have time, I might do that. They're obviously a relatively new company, a new player to the field. I don't remember when they were founded, actually. I might be interested to see. Should we go take a look while we're waiting for this stuff to fill? Company. Let's go find out when they were founded. If it says. Oh, cool. There's a backstory here. Nice. 2018. Oh, okay. So they're, yeah, it's still relatively fresh. Relatively fresh. A couple of years, but that's, you know, in the data space, that's pretty young, I guess. Okay, so culmination of learnings from working on data infrastructure and distributed systems for over 15 years, like Yahoo and Facebook. Wow, okay, that's really serious experience. I'll have to read this afterwards. Yeah, so I'm hoping that this has run. Oh, it has, okay. Success. It may have had an issue with the... Ooh, I didn't specify the schemas. I might need to edit this. Because I didn't specify... Can I modify this now? Oh no, how do I modify this? Can I modify the SQL? Uh-oh. Because I didn't put the schema in front. Might have to delete this one. It's kind of a shame. I wish I could modify this. No. Doesn't seem like I can. But you get the point. I mean, I don't need to show it, I guess. The deleting user time will delete the data from the warehouse as well. Oh, I don't want to do that. Well, there's nothing in it, but... I can pause this, then I don't delete it. That's fine. Let's make a new SQL transformation. Add a transformation. Snowflake? Destination. Postgres, new CDC. User spend 2. Or, well, let's use the existing one. Every 5 minutes, append. From public dot users, from public dot products, left join public dot transactions. Be cool if you could test this, but I guess, yeah, it's not really their business, right? That's not the niche. Oh, already exists in the slice. Yeah. So we'll just make another one. That's clever. Oh dear. Materialized view can't be created. At least one of the dependencies interval in minutes should be less than or equal to the materialized view interval in minutes. Huh. See what I meant about breaking things? Ta-da! That's fun. Cool. This is why we do things. This is why we do things, because we get to see if it works or not. So yeah, probably I'm doing something wrong as well, because I don't think it should be used this way. But I think that's a good point to leave this. Just to be honest. This looks really cool. Yeah, it just seems really cool. Let's check out their open jobs if someone's interested, maybe. Oh dear, that's not good. That's a 404. That will not be the thumbnail of this YouTube VOD, I promise. Yeah, I really like the solution. I think it's really interesting. This whole CDC thing is a massive topic. Like, I didn't even realize how deep it goes, but it is such a huge topic. And it could be... Yeah, I mean, it's so relevant for data quality, which is becoming more and more of an issue. Send them the VOD. Yeah, I will. Once it's up on YouTube, I will definitely send them the link, and they can play back what I did, and then they can definitely reproduce it that way. Noob, exactly. Yeah. So that's been very, very interesting, exploring like this CDC, which is really important, and they write worry free, and it's really true. Like I had a lot of bugs when we designed data pipelines. We really had exactly that issue that you know, some variable got changed and the timestamps got messed up or whatever, and then you just couldn't get that data back. It was changed forever, and you missed that window, right? And once you missed that window, you had to go back and basically audit the data kind of manually and see, like, does this table match up with the contents of this table, and try writing queries to like cross columnar joins across 40-50 different dimensions to check if they're not equal, right? Because essentially you have a products table here and you have a products table here, right? And you want to compare if these values are the same as in here. It's massively hard to do that. It's so hard to write those scripts. You have to do these really crazy what was it? Cross column join comparison. Essentially, like, you need to, if you want to multi-column join comparison, it's not with a join. There was this thing, like, if you want to compare so many different columns, you would have to write them out like this. But there is a way to do it in Postgres. I think the way we ended up doing it was something like, where was it? It was some kind of crazy thing where we had to write like a cross join using it was not in, no, compare two tables, hundreds of differences, something like this. Yeah, it was something crazy where you have to basically create, using the DDL from the table, you have to create a select statement. And so you have to union them together and then filter them out for the ones that don't have the same counts. It's just, it's such a huge pain, such a huge pain. And basically, yeah, so I can understand this worry-free. I can really relate to that. Yeah. So that will be it for today. I hope that those of you who have been watching since the beginning, or if you've just joined, that you enjoyed today's stream. Once again, I'd like to extend a very big thank you to DataCoral, to Rishabh and Rebecca for letting me grill your software on stream. Not every vendor would really agree to this. Let's be honest, people. Most vendors would shudder at the thought of someone live streaming them taking apart their product, especially early stage companies, right, that are still strong in development. So I really appreciate the chance to do that. And with that being said, we will go into the end credits. I would also like to extend my sincere thanks to Dr. Dynamite, who gifted a sub and resubscribed. We have a new outro today that is correct, that noob. Very, very appreciated, Dr. Dynamite, because you gifted a sub to Exegete and you resubscribe yourself. It's very, very appreciated. Again, I'd like to thank everyone for participating in chat. It's been a good time today. I've had a lot of fun. It's been very interesting streaming at 900p as well. I hope people have appreciated the, I don't know, easier loading of the stream. If there were buffering issues last time, I hope those buffering issues are now gone for you. Thanks also to Luce for the raid. It should have been included there. It wasn't. Less bits to consume for everyone. But yeah, you can use those bits to then buy bits and then dump them on my stream. That's also fine. The bits you're saving with your internet. That is. Smart. Very smart. I hope you had a good time. And we shall be seeing each other on Friday. Facecam challenge is 94%. I'm pretty sure that we could break it on Friday. That's I'm pretty positive about that. So thank you once again to DataCoral for letting me grill your product. Are you tagging Ian to dump his points at the end to make sure he can get his daily contribution in there? How much do we need? 3K? How much is left? We need 2,835 points. So Ian, now's your chance to dump them. Of course, you can dump them once I've gone offline. We will be raiding somebody. The question is who? Who shall we raid? Who shall we raid? You have 1K, so for next stream. Yeah, because you made your max daily contribution already, right? I think that we will be raiding CM Griffing today. So once again, thank you. I hope you can stay for the raid. And I wish you a very nice evening or morning, afternoon, whatever time it is for you. Oh, wow, Ian, that's quite a contribution. And hopefully see you all on Friday. That would be very nice. Take care and bye-bye.